Yeah, exactly. So let's just briefly, real quick, so people understand this that aren't really familiar with solar. Let's talk about the install process. What should potential customers look for when needing solar panels installed? Your spray foam AC and all that stuff. Most people know, but how do you go about getting the process going too, as far as if they do want solar?
So if they want solar and they sign up with Efficient Home Services, the first thing we do is we send out a site surveyor, right?
Hmm.
Goes out to the property, he gets up on the roof, he maps out the roof, he makes sure that the roof structure is capable of putting solar on it. He takes all the pictures of the roof layout, front, back, sides of the house. He goes in, he opens up the breaker panel, make sure that the breaker is either 150 to 200 amp, make sure that there's enough slots in there. After that, he sends the drawings over to our engineer. All right, we do our engineering and permitting in-house. From there, the engineer will do the drawings, make sure everything's good, make sure the structure is good. Then they'll send it into permitting. At that point, it goes into permitting. We get the permit back, then we go out and we install. There's not too much to it, man. A lot of people think solar is tough. It's really not that tough. It is. It's more about just having a process in place and making sure that you actually get out to the house. A lot of these companies, they try to use these software programs and they waste a lot of money and time by not having somebody go out and physically touch the home because they don't want to put this extra salary on their books. Well, I can tell you that, there's been plenty of times that we've run into other companies that they sign up this homeowner and they don't go out to the house, and they get out to the house and there's soft patches on the roof. You can't put solar panels on a soft
Yeah.
patch on the roof. It's going to rain, the roof is going to collapse. It's a liability. That's why I feel like our site survey process does separate. And, I take that back because we are the only company in Florida. One of them, the only one in St. Pete that I know of that we do our own engineering and permitting in-house. There's nobody else. Our biggest competitor, who's a good friend of mine, they do a third-party permitting company. And I've tried that in the past. That got me into a really, really bad situation because they don't care as much about getting your permits turned around. I can honestly say in the state of Florida, we are the fastest, and I will put my buck on it that we are the fastest from start to finish. Our average install turnaround is 37 days. There's no other company in Florida that can even touch us on that. And it's because we do our own engineering and permitting. So the second the job's done, everything's on a timeline, right? We sell the job, site surveyor has 48 hours to get out there and do the site survey, okay? From that, he has another 24 hours to get that over to the engineer. Then the engineer has 24 hours to get that into permitting, right? So there were 4 days in. Going to permitting, some municipalities can take a day, some can take up to 30 days, right? We have a list, so we know exactly the timelines for each municipality, and we schedule based off, when we're getting the permit back. And that's how we've been able to kind of get our install times down so quickly. Last year, we were at 117 days. 117 days
Yeah.
ago this month was when we hit our big growth spurt, and we realized we had a big problem. And, we all got together, and, 1 year later, we're at 37 days from conception of the customer to the finished product. So, there's not much else I can say about that. That is from start to finish. We are the fastest. That is the whole process. And there's not much to that process. Now, after the sale, we do turnkey. So from when the panels are installed, we pass inspection, we send the interconnection off for the homeowner as well. So we deal with the power companies too. A lot of the companies don't do that. They feel like when the glass gets on the roof, here, Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner, here's your interconnection. You pay the fees, you pay this, you pay that. We just like to have everything in our hands because we know it's going to get done.